We're here at the Garland County Courts Building with two distinguished individuals that help make the Garland County Veterans Treatment Court happen every month. With me today are Howard Hunter of Quapaw House, as well as Stephen Ezell of Arkansas Workforce Services. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's raise awareness this morning about the Veterans Treatment Court that provides such a vital role in our community for all the wonderful veterans that have served and helped protect our country's freedom. They are individuals that some will say have fallen through the cracks in the past years, and as everyone knows in Hot Springs, Judge Schweitzer is passionate about serving veterans better. So let's start off today with Mr. Hunter and ask you, how is the Veteran Drug Court helping the veteran?
Well, a veteran that gets in trouble with the law winds up in jail, winds up in front of Judge Schweitzer's court, and if the person has a problem with drugs or alcohol or PTSD, service-connected problems, then we start getting VA involved to get them treatment.
Yes, and I said Veteran Drug Court, but of course, it's a treatment court for all kinds of situations that you just mentioned.
All kinds.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Ezell, what role do you play in the Veterans Treatment Court?
Where I fall into this picture is when the veteran is before Judge Schweitzer. There are several questions the judge find out from them. Namely, is that he does like to know what kind of work that they did. And so I come from the employment end of it so that I'm able to help these gentlemen get back into the community, get reintegrated, and get them job ready so that they're a productive member of the community. So what he'll do is he'll order them to come to my office.
And you said the key word's productive, right? It's so important for veterans to feel productive and valuable members of society, right?
That's correct.
Okay, Mr. Hunter, there are apparently a lot of resources in the community to help veterans. Can you name some of those resources that are apparently not well known?
We have a bunch. We have the BFW, the American Legion, which really works great with us. We have the Good Samaritan for housing, temporary housing. And we also have McGrew Electric that offers a house to hold them until they can get to VA for treatment, volunteer type. There are just so many resources. Just looking at these, we have probation officers that work with them, and they work through the VA system at Little Rock to get them in. We have a veteran attorney if they need an attorney for some reason, which is also a veteran. The VA clinic here in town works great with us.
Those are just some of the resources, and many of them are listed in this booklet that you have available,
yes,
right?
What I'm referring to. Now we have one other source, that's the Jackson House that feeds the hungry. They call us to let us know they got a veteran that's homeless and needs some help. So that's a good resource for us because there's a lot of it out there.
So each of these agencies fulfill a need as far as the veterans that come to the court for possible sentencing. And that leads to another question for you, Mr. Ezell. Do either of the judges require the veteran to come to you as part of their sentencing?
No, they don't. But I do see them show up at my office. Now, the interesting thing about it is that these gentlemen or females, they will come to my office for jobs, but they also may have some other issues. The other issue may be, I got child support out there to be paid, and I need a job, and being in court did not help me. So I want to get back on my feet and help my children, and that's where I come into the picture. Try to get those jobs for them so that they can. That's where the productive part comes into the picture. See, at the Workforce Center, what we like to do, or what I like to do, is provide what we call the veterans, priority of service. I am able to get them the service right up front. They get jump on the line of privileges when they come to my office, when there's a line of people out there trying to get other services. And once I'm notified, I will pull them into my office right away. So all our veterans at the Workforce Center that show up there get priority of service. They get front of the line privileges.
That is so wonderful to hear, because our veterans should always be top priority.
Yes.
In everything that we
One
do.
thing Mr. Ezell didn't mention, he operates a food pantry also.
So how does the food pantry work?
This is a different thing, and there's a story behind it, but I'll make it short. Many of the agencies have certain days they deliver food and certain hours of the day. And when I'm trying to call each of these agencies up, I get frustrated because I've got a veteran who's got an empty belly for 2 days. So I took it upon myself to pair up and partner with Project Hope. And they are my partners, and they provide boxes of food for me, 40-pound boxes of food for me, for my veterans. I vet them out in case there's a way to reach out to them, to make sure that they've got food on the table, feed their child, feed their wife, feed the rest of the family. But it's something that I can do for them. But on top of that, if they don't have transportation, a new program that just kicked in is I'm able to give them a bus passes. I've reached out to several of the employers who have been so gracious to pay for these bus tickets to help our veterans who don't have transportation to come visit me so that they can get a job.
So if this strikes a chord with anyone who's hearing this segment, and they want to give, volunteer, or donate, perhaps, so that someone can have the transportation that they need, we're going to give out a phone number at the end of this segment, so
Correct.
get your pencils ready.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear, that the transportation needs, which sometimes is the one stumbling block, right?
It is.
For a veteran to get the help that
It is.
he or she needs, are being met.
Especially when they have got their license suspended and they can't go anywhere. And they're stuck with riding a bicycle or walking.
Yes. Mr. Hunter, who do you see more, males or females, where veteran services are concerned in our community?
Mostly males. For some reason, the female does not come forward for whatever reason. And it's really difficult to get a female working with our program because there's not enough females for her to work with. Now, I don't know if it's from embarrassment, like PTSD, maybe sexual harassment, I don't know.
But
we
that's
do
something
not
that we
see.
can raise awareness about today, too.
Sure.
That you certainly want to serve the female veterans in our community.
Absolutely. I know they're out there, they just don't come forward. If they need help, come see us.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, you're holding something important in your hand. You want to tell us about that?
Well, I'd like to mention, if we got time to mention one
Yes.
other thing.
Yes, sir.
Our surrounding communities has got on board with the veterans. I go to Judge McKim's court in McCurtain County. He works with the veterans, gets them to me, we get them help. Judge Daniels in Murfreesboro and Glenwood Court, they're working with us, same thing. And Judge Randy Hill over at Arkadelphia is on board. So we got a good surrounding thing helping veterans if the veteran comes forward and needs help and lets us know.
So you're talking multiple counties that you're serving.
Multiple counties.
Now, what about that item there?
When a veteran completes Judge Schweitser's drug court, we give them a little token. Now, veterans familiar with the dog tag, but this dog tag has on it, if I can get it in the right position, Garland County Cares leaves no veteran behind. The only veteran we leave behind is one that doesn't come forward and let us know if he needs help. Call us if you need us.
It's so important. Mr. Ezell, is there anything you'd like to add as we wrap up?
Well, the one thing I'd like to say that's so important right now, and we're all facing it every day. I face it every day with the media, and that is the PTSD that's out there, and the veteran who's got the PTSD. It's an unseen item, of a person. It's not physical. You don't see it. It's all in their head. And so what we do is, on my end is, and this is what I preach a lot, is I could get you help through our behavioral mental health institution that we have at Fort Roots in North Little Rock. So I will give you the help and get it, and I will drop everything I have in my hands to make sure that you get that service that you need. If you've got that, there's PTSD and there's post-traumatic brain injury, and then there's sniper syndrome. Whatever those are, I'm able to, to help you with those kinds of issues to get the help you need.
We know we've just scratched the surface.
A good
the
partner.
surface of
It is.
the Veterans Treatment Court here, gentlemen. Both of you, we thank you for your service to our country. I believe both of you through the Navy branch.
Yes.
And we're so appreciative of that. We cannot stress enough the importance of reaching veterans in our community through the services that the Garland County Veterans Treatment Court provides. If you have any questions about what we just talked about, or perhaps you have a loved one who might need some of these services, the phone number that we want to give out is 318-0398. And again, that's area code 501, of course, 318-0398. And that will put you directly in touch with Mr. Hunter.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank
Terry.
you. I
And
appreciate
next
it.
week,
Appreciate you.
we'll bring you more city
Thank you.
news.
Thank you. Okay.